we are here. Welcome back, and we are going to dive right into this, and we are going to put a close, a stamp, seal the deal on Dragon Ball Z, all of Dragon Ball Z for the project. Again, I'll come back and dance some things intermittently, but it won't ever be like this again, and there will never be a Dragon Ball Z again. I don't have big as hate as I did for the Buu Saga anymore, and really, I hear fascinating things about Super, but there's never going to be, despite my Super hate, because I do have outright Super hate, but there's never ever going to be nothing like Dragon Ball Z ever again. Just from its timing, just from its impact, and just from the generation it hit. I mean, we people my age, we were the first ones in America to absorb this. The kids who were jumping on the Super thing, that's not really what it was. That's new. That's their thing. Dragon Ball Z is ours, and I really wanted to big that up and make that a thing and express how influential not only these characters were to me, but just the series as a whole. So again, shout out to Funimation, Toei Studios, Bird Studios, Mr. Toriyama, and everybody who's involved in bringing Dragon Ball Z to America in the '90s, because it changed a little boy's life, and it made me start, believing in the impossible, and believing in hard work, and believing that one could be stuck and be out there doing those kind of things, and if it's just not his head, then oh well, but still, these characters meant so much to me, Vegeta, Goku, and here we are at Gohan, and even the hating ass twins, everybody's a piece of this thing, but obviously, mainly, Vegeta, Goku, and here we are, Gohan, and Gohan wraps everything up for us quite vividly. So let's get right into that. The Super Saiyan 2 transformation. Now, here's the thing about the Super Saiyan 2 transformation. And I think this was the good part, one of the good parts about the Buu Saga, because is the Super Saiyan 2 transformation just another Super Saiyan transformation, or was that the ultimate manifestation of Gohan's potential? Which way do you look at it? Obviously, if we don't have the Buu Saga to lean on, then we have to say both. And I know that's a shitty answer, but there's a lot of talk that goes around on Google Plus, and I got into a debate, online, not verbal debate, because those are totally different. Online debates are totally different than verbal debates. But I got into an online debate about if Super Saiyan 2, if SSG2 could beat Super Saiyan Goten. And I believe that SSG2 could take out Super Saiyan Goten. But I was getting a lot of pushback on that. So what do you think? But my reasons were that Super Saiyan 2 Gohan at this point in the series at the end of season 6 is the most prepared fighter, not even just physically and power level wise, but technically. And it's the stamina, know-how, experience. He outclasses everybody, and that would be included a future Trunks, as in Trunks in the next season, and Goten. Gohan would have more experience in his Super Saiyan 2 body than Gotenks would. Obviously Gotenks is a powerful character, and we love Goten and Trunks on this project. I mean, I big them up as being probably, if not the most entertaining thing in the Buu Saga, one of the most entertaining things in the Buu Saga is them two. But could they be together? It would be a good fight, but would they win? No, because in this fight, we really don't get to see what Gohan is really capable of. And in my opinion, this kid is capable of anything at this point. Especially, if we start talking about the first episode or first few minutes after he transformed. He was unstoppable Gohan, right? He was truly unstoppable. And we'd have no idea how high this kid could go, or how deep his bag really was at this point, because some fuckery happened. And his arm gets hurt, and then it's all this other emotional things going on, right? But, if we step outside the series a little bit, maybe look at BoJack, maybe we get that flavors, but we really can't bring that in. But still, in the context of the series, if we look at Gohan's boundless ability, we really don't know how strong Gohan is after his Super Saiyan True Transformation, or how high he can go. When Gohan eats Cell's evil Kamehameha wave, evil Super Kamehameha wave, then that proves to be pretty much everything that I've said about Gohan at this point. That Gohan's power is not even of a different construct than Cell's, as far as it's what it's made out of. It's just outright of a whole nother power sphere. Because we already talked about this, how Cell is designed. But Cell, perhaps in some instances, could utilize natural ki energy as well. So maybe Cell operate with some kind of hybrid ki energy, and that being the case, was probably even more dangerous. Mixing it with the artificial and the regular. But Gohan's form was so natural and pure in of the regular, but still from such a high divinized level as it would seem, that this he couldn't be touched, and that it made Cell's Kamehameha wave look like nothing. And the control you see Gohan have over his Kamehameha wave and over his ki energy at that point, and just the control he had over his powers in general at that point, Gohan was unstoppable. Gotenks not only has a time limit, but Gotenks is not in control. They're just two kids. Gohan is 12 years old, 11 years old at the time, but he's not a kid. He's not kidding around. Gotenks and them, they gag and they like to do all that other stuff. Now we talk about Super Saiyan 2 Gotenks or Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Obviously, it starts leaning more to the Gotenk side, just off the outright power difference. But Super Saiyan Gotenks versus Cell Saga's Super Saiyan G2, I give it the Super Saiyan G2 every time. And I give it the Super Saiyan G2 a lot of the times. I don't know if you can find many characters in all anime history, and all of anime dumb, that can flex on SSG2 in this moment, in the Cell Saga. Because this kid was so motivated, so focused, and not even just on that, he was the most technically sound and most prepared and had the most experience out of anybody in the whole series. We can take the power out of it, but then you put the power into it, and obviously, that makes something totally different. But I don't know, all weapons aside, who do you think can take out SSG2? The focus, fresh, in his bag, fresh off the transformation SSG2, before all the fuckery happens. Who can fuck with that guy? I don't know. I really don't. I put my money on SSG2 every time. But that leaves some room for some debate. So I would love to hear some comments on that. But regardless, Gohan shows us that after a certain period of time, in general, the Saiyans are just indestructible. They're just after they've been put through the mill so many times, been grinded so many times, they've been grinding for so long, Saiyans just become fucking indestructible. I mean, and I guess if we can draw that line to all the way to Super as well. That same theory, but because Gohan defeats a machine, the Saiyan killer machine, a machine that was designed to kill Saiyans, to be the most effective machine, weaponry, robot, android, whatever you want to call it, genetic warrior. It was completely designed to be the Saiyan killer, and Gohan abuses it and completely destroys it. Cell is no match for Gohan after Gohan turns up. It's not even close, and that's the thing. We don't get to see in that fight because Gohan is such a avalanche of power. We don't get to see what all else is, how far he could have took it. I mean, we can say, oh, the Kamehameha wave, the big Kamehameha wave conflict climax was instance, but Gohan said he was operating with half his power at that point. So Cell cheated. There was some kind of means, whether it was just internal Saiyan Zenkai boost, or some external on time, real time cell acquisition, steal your shit type of technique that we don't know about. But regardless, Gohan's bag was deep as fuck, and I don't think it's been was never truly explain how deep his bag is as far as power level at this point. And there was people online saying that SSG2 is overrated. No, SSG2 is underrated. Who's overrated is Majin Vegeta. Majin Vegeta is super fucking overrated. That's what I believe. Who I believe is overrated, but that's a whole other thing. But the Saiyans just, and namely Gohan, have so much grit. Obviously we can say that about Vegeta and we say that about Goku, but they have grit in a different way. Their grit comes from their natural abilities. Gohan was stumbling around with really no natural ability, not anything like Vegeta or his dad or any of his uncles for that matter. Gohan had to learn, and we'll get into that. But then also, shout out to Chi Chi. Shout out to Chi Chi because Gohan is half Chi Chi. Who's to say how much of that played an effect in Gohan's ultimate turn up and Gohan's emotional death that was really probably his greatest strength, because it was Gohan's emotions for everybody else, his internalized emotions, his need to protect everybody else that really spurred him on, even more than his father. That really took him over the edge. And we see Chi Chi as being that way too. So Chi Chi and Goku just did a marvelous thing, and he got the best of both worlds. But shout out to Chi Chi because Chi Chi's Gohan is half a Chi Chi as well. He's half human as well, so that was in the pot too. So comment on that as well. How much was it Saiyan? How much was it human of Gohan's mega turn up on Cell? Cell being the Agent Smith, motherfucker that is, because that's what Cell is. Way before the Matrix ever came out, this was a thing, and I believe that Cell, is Agent Smith and Gohan is Neo, and because in that respect, Gohan breaks all the rules. Gohan doesn't do things every the way his daddy did it. He doesn't do the way things Vegeta did. He doesn't do the way things other Saiyans did it before them. Gohan is a complete rule breaker. He's even more emotional than his father. But as we said, his emotion is his greatest strength, and that's why I think he could beat Gotenks, because Gohan has his emotions power him so high. They pushed him so far. But that aside, Gohan is so emotional, and that's so contrary to Saiyan beliefs. Now his dad was emotional as well, but his dad's still full blood Saiyan, and his dad still kind of is rough and tumble and gets down. So who's to say? But in Gohan breaks all the rules, and Agent Smith being completely manufactured, completely artificial, completely synthetic, who has to play by all the rules, who has to play by these calculations and variables and deductions and all these other things, machinery, whatever that's playing in him, that makes him who he is. He's bound by all those things, and that will probably make Cell so upset when Gohan starts turning up, because he doesn't know what to do. He has no calculations for that. He has no answer for that, because Gohan is doing things that are uncalculable, that are unqualifiable, that are unquantitative, and that are coming from somewhere he cannot understand. And no matter how brilliant in his madness Dr. Gero was, he could not plan for a Gohan. In the way Gohan's power came off and came across. Gohan's power, in my opinion, is completely otherworldly, completely celestial. Even though it quote unquote is a Super Saiyan 2 transformation, I believe that there was a lot more to it than just a Super Saiyan transformation. Again, it's who is happening to, and Gohan being so connected with the key energy and so connected with his emotions just created this avalanche, this thunderstorm. Now again in the Buu Saga we get more flavor as far as Mystic Gohan, and that kind of is like okay. Maybe Super Saiyan G2 wasn't all in Gohan's, maybe that all wasn't in Gohan's bag. They have Mystic Gohan, which is absolute beast, and that shows us that Gohan, still has this crazy key connection, that's unidentifiable and unquantitative, that operates on a whole different level than anybody else's. Because when Gohan is given Majin Buddha hands, he's not even Super Saiyan. So Gohan is the one. He breaks all the rules. You can't. That's why Gohan. That's why this was so hard for me to do, because you can't really put Gohan in a box. You can't put Neo in a box. Gohan is Keanu Reeved out at this moment, and that is what really drives Cell up a wall. Because he's not bound by any functional rules, as it would seem. Gohan does things in these moments that aren't repeated ever again, really. Not even by Super Saiyan 3 Goku, for real. I mean, even though Super Saiyan 3 Goku puts it down and he does crazy shit, it's only after the crazy shit his son did in the Super Saiyan G2. Like Gohan was doing feats of speed and technical ability and power that we don't see again until SS3 Goku. So, and that's all the way at the end of the Buu Saga. So Gohan's way ahead of the game. This is Gohan's way ahead of the game, and there's no telling how strong this Gohan really was, or how strong he could have gotten with more motivation. He's like the Hulk or some shit. Now, Gohan, that being the case, Gohan really lets us know the difference between learned ability and natural ability. Because obviously Gohan is half Saiyan, and then he's half Chi-Chi, so he has, Chi-Chi's not a slouch, but Chi-Chi also is, a very fiery individual. Obviously, Gohan is walking in with a high natural ability, regardless, right? But still, compared to the other Z fighters, is probably the lowest. Gohan is very sensitive. Gohan is a mama's boy for a long time, and Gohan is not indoctrinated in training right away like his father was, like Vegeta was, like Krillin was, like Tien was, like Piccolo was, like Kami was. Gohan breaks all the rules. Gohan took a totally different, unbeaten trail and paved his own way. Goku took the paved route. He took the martial arts route. I'm going to go through this trainer. I'm going to go through this trainer. I'm going to do these amount of push-ups. I'm going to fire this many Kamehameha waves. I'm going to learn this technique. I'm going to learn this technique. I'm going to beat this enemy. And I'm going to level up some more. Goku did it the brick and mortar type way. Vegeta, almost the same way. But Vegeta was not necessarily the exact same way, because Vegeta was a warrior. He was in battles. Vegeta is the Achilles of Saiyans, right? So, he leveled up that way through warfare, in broken home, and in death. Whereas Goku's come up was a little bit more serene. Gohan didn't have any of that. Gohan's initial days were completely cushy. That's why I try to get. That's why I try to. Get off in the AMVs there. Like Gohan's come up was fun. I love that Gohan, man, because he's just having a good time. It's just like it's so cartoony, and it's such like it's just like a lighthearted and such a good time. Like Saturday morning cartoon type thing. That's what Gohan was. But his father was prime time, or Vegeta was a Saturday night at the movie theater. Those are whole different tones. And Gohan not having a natural ability compared to everybody else. It's just not there compared to everybody else. Gohan had to learn. So he kind of took He kind of took the best from both ways of learning, both experiences, as far as Goku's experience and Vegeta's experience, and mix them together. The hardship of being out there on your own, scuffling against people that are way stronger than you with a low margin of error, as opposed to, on one side, on the other side, having this click in this martial arts grounding and key energy understanding and all that good stuff. So shout out to Piccolo, who opened the bag on that. Gohan had both. Goku had it one way, Vegeta had another, Gohan had both. But even so, Gohan had to learn on the fly with a low margin of error. Gohan only had 6 months of training walking into this. Walking into the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. He only had 6 months of formal training. Other than that, he's getting his head beat in. As a toddler, as an adolescent. They're gooning, hanging with big kids.
I used to hear the voices through the thin walls, tension building up and I'd feel so small. Some nights I'd hide under the pillows cause I didn't know what else to do. Started singing just to get some attention, a melody to cut through the addiction. And every song I made turned into wishes, some of them came true. Everyone rises, everyone falls, everyone spends some nights alone. Rich if I pour, I'm always yours, you never left me on my own. Tell me who would I be without you? No matter how much we lose, every time I bet my life on you. We were never rich, not even thousands. Mom was on her knees cleaning houses. I used to go to work with her some days and dream and dance in the big hallways. Everyone's scared, everyone's scarred, everyone spent some nights alone. But every high, every low, you never left me on my own. Tell me who would I be without you? No matter how much we lose, every time I bet my life on you. Tell me who would I be without you? Nothing I'd rather do. Every night I bet my life on you. Would I be without you? On the road to make my daddy proud, but I lost him and so I sank to the crowd. My only hope is that he's looking down, thinking, oh my God, my daughter's doing it now. Tell me who would I be without you? No matter how much we lose, every time I bet my life on you. Tell me who would I be without you? Nothing I'd rather do. Every night I bet my life on you.